Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel From House to Homestead. I just wanted to show you all a project that I've been working on. The project at this point is mostly done, but there's a little bit left to do, and I wanted to show you guys that project. Anything that you see me doing here today, I would love to hear comments, questions, anything that you might have about our channel or about this project that I'm working on in particular. And yeah, I'm going to show you how cool it is. Hold on. So here it is. This is the project. If you haven't already been able to tell, we've got a little brick staining action going on. So when we moved in, I hated the fireplace surround, not fireplace surround, the wood stove surround, which you can see in the background. And I have been trying to figure out a really cost-effective way to change it. Well, it is really difficult to change something like that. I looked at tile, I looked at stone veneer, I looked at just covering it over with mortar, I looked at ripping it out and replacing it with something else completely, and nothing was easy and nothing was really cost effective. Everything was very expensive. So what I ultimately decided to do was check into staining the brick. So that's what I did. I spent hours researching YouTube. I spent hours looking at different stain products online. Surprisingly, there really wasn't a whole heck of a lot. I was actually really surprised. I don't know if this is just something that typically contractors do and is not particularly a do-it-yourself kind of a project. I'm not really sure, but I did finally come across a product that I felt as a DIYer it would be a good product for me to use, and it would also work. So what I found is a water-based stain. This stuff, hopefully you can see it, Eco Stain. It's a water-based concrete stain, and I contacted the manufacturer and I asked them if I could use it on brick, and they said yes. So what I liked about this product was that there's no acid in it. So there was nothing to be neutralized. A lot of times when you are staining concrete, you have to take off the top layer. You have to etch it with acid in order to make the concrete more porous and accept the stain. But brick is always porous, and so you don't really have to do that. So I knew a product that contained acid really wasn't going to be appropriate. So I got this stuff, and it was less than $100 for this whole bottle, and I knew I wouldn't need that much. So what I did is I went ahead and got it, and I'm going to show you what I did. So the manufacturer recommends that you try different ratios of water to stain. So all you do is literally add water to this stain concentrate, and then you can figure out the intensity of color that you're looking for. So if you want something very translucent, I would do maybe 1 cup water to half a cup of stain, or a quarter cup of stain. If you want something more opaque, I would do more of a ratio of a 1-to-1, so a half a cup of water to a half a cup of stain. So that's basically what I ended up doing. I did test on one of the bricks different concentrations of the stain to get the color concentration that I was looking for, and I'm just using this little old yogurt container and basically mixed stain and water and a handy dandy little foam brush. And it's really, really simple. I clean the brick, and then just dip your brush, and then you just paint it right on, just like this. It needs time to soak in. It needs time to sit. So I would get, a decent coating. This brick has all kinds of little divots in it, so you got to kind of work the stain into all the divots, and then smooth it, and that's it. And then you let it set, you let it dry, and when it dries, the stain will actually soak into the brick, and then when it dries, you can look at it and see if that is the color saturation that you are looking for. God, it was unbelievable how easy this was. It doesn't smell. It has no odor. I've got the stain on my hands. It washes right off. Of course, I washed it off pretty quickly. I didn't like let it sit for 2 or 3 hours or anything like that. I think for the bulk of the project, I wore gloves anyway. So yeah. So you can see the color that we started out with before, this reddish color, and then you saw that I painted it on. Well, this has been sitting now for several days, and this was the color saturation that I liked the best. So this is basically the finished product. Now I'm going to take you guys over and show you. I did do pretty much the whole fire or wood stove surround already. So let me just show you that, if I can get my camera here. Okay. I'm terrible at running the camera, and it's actually much easier for me than carrying the camera to leave it on the stand and carry the stand around. Even the selfie stick is not awesome for me, and I don't know why that is. All right, so you can see that's our new wood stove that we got, and it is amazing, and there's no way that I was going to leave those old horrible bricks as they were with our brand new stove. So I already went through and did the bulk of the wood stove surround. I did have just a teensy bit in the very front. You can see where the blue tape is. The very front part of the bricks there I needed to do, so that was what I started working on today. And then I decided, well, maybe you guys would be interested in seeing my project as well. This corner over here, when we first moved in, there was a staircase here where this coat closet is. We took out that staircase, and there was a light switch there. So we took out the light switch, put drywall over it, and of course now there's this opening here. So we did find some extra bricks and got them stained, and one of our projects hopefully today is going to be to finish filling in that spot. And then there's also a spot down here toward the bottom where we pile our wood that also needed to be filled in. So the thing to remember about stain is that the more you put on, the darker and the deeper the color. So you have to be really careful when you're doing touch-ups to make sure that you probably are going to do like the whole thing. So you can see here hopefully the difference in the variation of the color of the brick. See how dark this one is as compared to how light that one is. This one I did touch up, and I just did an extra coat of stain on it. So the more coats you do, the darker it gets. She says as she falls over. So let it dry between coats, and then you're just gonna come in and add to it. If you need to touch up, like I said, I would do the whole brick and not just part of it. Also, you could do a very thin saturation of stain, so very low stain to more water, and then when you go in and do your touch-up, it would be very, very subtle, and then you could add more coats that way. So for me, because I kind of did a partial, particularly right here, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more on these two bricks here and kind of get them to fully match. There's no exact science to it, and I am certainly not an expert by any means. This is just what I have found works through trial and error. This brick I'm going to go ahead and do, because this brick has a lot of divots in the brick, and I could kind of see some of the red, the original red peeking through. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that brick as well. The rest of it looks pretty good. I'm gonna do a little bit more. I want the front pretty dark, so I'm probably gonna keep adding layers until it darkens up the way that I want. I'm probably out of camera range at this point, but I think by now you guys kind of get the idea. And yeah, so if you have any comments, questions, thoughts, please do put them in the comments below, and we'd love to hear from you guys. All right, well, that's gonna be it for this project for now. I hear the wood splitter has been fired up, so I guess we're gonna go out and split some wood. We'll see you later, guys. Thanks for watching.